So first of all, the theme of my speech today is how David could have a chance against Goliath. And as you can imagine, is all related to trying to make our passion, video games, referring to Andrea's speech of this morning, and try to make business around. That means basically try to compete against the biggest publisher around the world, having a very strong challenge starting from Italy, which is not easy. Leader Group is a digital entertainment company. What does it mean? Basically, it's a company that contains internally everything you need to do video games. We do have our own distribution company, we do have our own publishing label, we do have our internal development studios. Publishing label is the argument of today, and is Black Bean Games. You can see Black Bean Games here, just in front of you, and Electronic Arts just standing ahead. So that's the kind of picture that represents really the difficulties to competing at international level in game development. Doing it from Italy is very tough. It's really, really tough. Sometimes people say you are lucky because you are the only one in Italy. The point is, we are unlucky because we are the only one in Italy. We would like to have a lot of competition. We would like to have a lot of companies doing the same thing that we are doing here. First, because we think Italy would deserve a better place in the market. There are talents, but the problem is that there is no network, no integration, no competition. Just to give you an idea, for Black Bean Games, the Italian market have a weight of less than 3% on our sales. This gives you the dimension of Italy, even for an Italian publisher. We should be advantaged a little bit, so you should buy more made in Italy games. So, I want to share with you a speech of good hope, just explaining how we work. And this is a very, very strong behind the scene that we are going to see during this speech. So, we want to share with you our methodology and how do we work in order to decide what to do at international level. So we think there are no secrets, but it is important to share a methodology, at least one methodology, one possible methodology. So doing video games in Italy, at the beginning, there are some difficulties, which are really, really well explained by this short clip.
What a filthy job. Could be worse. How? Could be raining.
So, welcome to the Italian situation. Here is raining always. But anyhow, if you think about, there are ways to go around some of the problems. But you need to be smarter, because you are not so big, so you cannot work on muscle. You need to work on ideas. So it's challenging. That means that we need to think at least 2 or 3 times more than our colleague in other companies outside of Italy. But at a certain point, you should have a chance.
It could work!
The point is, what do you need? You don't need too much. You just need to be clear enough to do your job properly. And the less information you need to work out, the better it is. So just think that with 3 simple words, you can easily manage, at least easily, let's say you can manage to work from here and to be on the shelf everywhere in the world. You basically need these 3 keywords to work together, which are identity, focus, and technology. From our experience, and consider that Leader Group was born in the mid of the 80s, so has 25 years of experience. Not so much from a publishing side, because we started around 2003, but of course is a long time that teaches us a lot of stuff. And this is the synthesis: identity, focus, technology. Identity because you need to be recognized, and you cannot be recognized if you do too much. If you do too much, you don't have an identity. We have a brand, it's the Black Bean brand, and we built up an identity across the latest year in such a way that people outside of Italy knows what we know and what is our best point in publishing and development. Very simple. They don't remember more than 2 or 3 things. The second point is focus, and this is strictly related to the analysis of platform and the analysis of genre. It's finished the era in which you were trying to do everything. It's finished the era for publisher of cherry-picking ideas and cherry-picking titles. It doesn't work. It worked in, let's say, 5 years ago with a publisher of small, medium size, growing a lot thanks to the S&W games, just cherry-picking ideas and publishing everything in all the genre. Plenty of stuff. And at a certain point, this stuff was not finding even a place on the shelf around the world. So you need to be focused. You need to be able to say, I know how to do one thing, but I'm the best in doing this thing. Is a niche? No matter. But you are the best one in a niche, which is much better than being no one in a crowded area. That's why, from our point of view, the lineup of a label is a consequence. It's not the starting point. You don't start your strategy around certain products, but first you think to your strategy, and then only after defining your strategy, you start thinking to your lineup. It seems a small difference, but is a huge difference when you're going on the market. So let's try to see an analysis of Black Bean label compared to our competitors around the world. Surely Black Bean is a young label, let's say unexperienced, because we started after many others. Self-funded, and that's quite important, because we really need to be careful in what we do, because we cannot do like others publishers that lose an incredible amount of money. We could make a mistake, of course, and it happens, but we need to take a lot of care on our decision on lineup, strategy, development, and so on. And finally, we are Italians. Is in the minus, but can be a very good plus. It is a minus just because when you go around in the world and you say, okay, fine, so you want this license, you want to develop this product, you want to sell me this product. Okay, where you are from? Gazzada. Already the name in Italian sounds a little bit tricky, you know, Gazzada, so it's not the maximum. But the point is that they don't even know where we are in the world. If they have a map and they have to say, Gazzada? Okay, let me think where it is, Somalia or whatever. So it makes a difference, no? When you say, yes, we are a publishing label, yeah, we are from London. Okay, I know, London. Remind me something. But on the other hand, what we have in our, let's say, in our pluses, we are very creative. And that's a common point for Italian people. Everyone recognizes we are creative. We are free-minded. That means that we always look around, we try to take inspiration from what's going on. We need to understand what's going on, the trend, not only in video games, but in everything that surrounds our life. We need to have big eyes open and try to see every phenomena when it's starting. Carefully and responsible, of course, because we are self-funded. And the fact that we are Italian gives us the possibility to be stylish as well, so you can emphasize the good points. So, starting from this, we built up our pillars. What are the pillars for a publishing label? Are rules, a strict set of rules that you need to apply, not for 1 month, but for years, in such a way that people start to recognize you and gives you the identity. First point, own IP. Every product we do, we own that product. So it belongs to us, it's an asset of the company. Invest in technology, because without technology, we cannot go anywhere. So we need to invest in technology. In order to invest in technology, we need to have long-term plan. While we are talking, in our office, we are already designing the lineup of 2014. And that's a key point, because it gives continuity to our development studios, gives continuity to our international partner, and so we know where we are going. We are not deciding at the end of one project, like happens a lot of time. You finish a product and you start thinking to the next one. No, we already have 3 years in front of us. We already decided. Another very important point, international AAA license. That's another pillar of Black Bean. If you look around, all the Black Bean lineup is based on international AAA license. And the point is very simple. We don't have hundreds of millions to invest in communication. So we need to be smart. We need to leverage on names and brands that are very well known, because in this way we can benefit. So even if we don't have a mass of money to spend and to invest to communicate, but an international big license will communicate for us.